I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor.
When there's an external pressure, people, if they haven't trained their balance, they have a tendency to lean into the object to balance themselves. That's a real error in fighting, because what you're doing is you're giving control of your balance to the person that you're leaning on. Right? So if you imagine like you're leaning on a table, and then the other person can shift the table whenever they want. So you never want to lean, you want to take that out of there. Wing Chun is systematically built around trying to replace leaning with better alternatives, better options. So you've got pivoting, so I can do things like that, where I'm pivoting that way, or pivoting that way, yeah, or I can do things like stepping, or we can actually just do kind of a shift within your base of support. So without lifting my feet off the ground, I can basically move my center from between my feet towards this foot. But if I go any further, then that's the definition of a lean, right? If my center goes out beyond that foot, then I'm leaning. But if I keep it within that center, but within that base of support, I can do things like that, where I'm pushing off the target, where I'm moving it forward and I'm moving my weight. So what you're doing then is you're not using your physical muscles as such, even though you are, but you're actually shifting weight. And it's doing it in a very secure way. Okay, so shift this foot more forward without letting him adjust, right? And get your arms in more like 90, closer to 90, so you can then push into 135. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Now you went a little bit far, right? So don't get greedy. Just try to shift your weight about. So your center between your center and your foot is about that much. You can't be shifting it that much. So just kind of get a powerful surge. Yeah, just in that area. So keeping your angles in your arms, let me take over. So keeping your angles like out here, you're not going to have much room to push with, right? And if you have your center too close to there, you're not going to have much thing to push. But if you have it kind of in the middle or even slightly further back, and then you've actually got the arms in, say, 90 degrees rather than all the way out, then you've got somewhere to push on from, right? Sorry.
It's still a combination of arm power and body power.
Just think about just moving your arm in a normal shoulder power. Yeah. That's right. That's good, Dom. Okay. Good. So what Dom's doing quite nice there is actually feeling where the line of support is, like the line of weakness between in the base of his support, and he's attacking that line. So rather than attacking straight into the strength of his supporting leg, he's actually attacking where it's weak. So it's quite nice. So with these drills, there's room for sensitivity and creativity, as opposed to just mechanically doing the same thing over and over again. So that was into the foot, which is doing on purpose, which is doing things that are wrong on purpose is totally part of the experimentation. And also, it could be wrong, but you can make it right? There's degrees of, this works in matters of degrees rather than binaries, success or failure. Yes?
You want to push it up?
Yes. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and it also depends. It depends on the contact point, right? Here versus here. It depends on where their body is in space and where, like, how they're arranging their body, where their arm is, and the force they're giving.
There's a lot of rigidity there than actually pushing.
Right.
Easy.
Or this arm's very floppy, right? And this one's very rigid, right? So you have to take all those things into account, right? And also where you want their body to go. So, for example, I may want to push slightly off an angle off here. So I'm pushing like that, then I'm pushing off your leg, as opposed to directly into the foot, right? So there's never, oh no, I can never push that way. There's always being clever.
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy,